Madrid team have just not enjoyed their game against Girona, who'll be looking to get back on
Bernabeu. So there are lots of changes. We will expect changes in the near games, but huge opportunity for Aurélien Tchouaméni, for Dani.
It's the cup final next weekend, but they do have that man, Vinny. Result here today. Real Madrid have a look.
Good evening, Andy, Graham. For any Real Madrid fan, it's always hugely disappointing and painful to see their team being thrashed in the way they were against a team that's just come up.
Because it means he can return to his favoured position as well.
Well, it's something that Almeria, but Rubina's side, victim of the fact that they're making the stadium into an absolutely extraordinary citadel of football. There, the ball moves slightly slower, but they're good enough to get rid of that.
It's a good
evaporates any possible effect of minutes going by.
He took it on the bounce.
Here's Vinny with a great piece of play and the cross towards Benzema. That is finds Ceballos, and he eventually goes down after being clipped by Camavinga, making the challenge here, who's having to fill in at left back at the moment. Now here's Vinny Jr. again, finding Benzema. It was the combination that nearly provided the open-up a couple of minutes ago, and this time it does. Vinny is just unstoppable when he gets a chance to run at a fullback. You might as well just take the fullback out of the way because he'll beat him. And then the cross was perfect as well. Now here's Lagi Ramazani at the other end, getting a shot away, which Thibaut Courtois was very confident was head of Vinicius moving ahead of him. And the 1-2. And very nearly the finish as well. It was beautiful.
Animal, who's well liked within the squad 2 and rest 3.
Now here's Ramazani, almost pulling one back. Thibaut Courtois looked like he had. Back to Ceballos, who's fouled again. This time by Ramazani. Does that mean we
As a formation, what style of football do they want to play? Do they want to play 4 midfielders with Valverde up front? Is this
got 4 in the middle? The cross is deep beyond everybody. A flick from Mendes as far as Vinicius, who would.
I interviewed Casemiro in the first one that they won just before.
But picked up by Vinny, who will have a run at Puigmal. That's nice to flick the ball away from Samu Costa. Gets it back to Benzema. And it's 2 goals for Karim Benzema, but it is 2 wonderful assists from the Brazilian wingers. Firstly Vinicius, and now Rodrigo with something really special. He had so much to do when he raced into the area, but the back. And of course Osasuna next. Vázquez might be offside here against Rodrigo, and it is, so that piece of play.
Been to this philosophy that Ruby's chosen. It's not like.
And here's Ubalang Mendes trying to get. Now works it wide for Vinicius to take on Mendes. Back to Lucas Vázquez. The cross.
Really high average. But in terms of how sharp he is, how absolutely either of them has stepped forward and been consistently good enough week in, week out, which counts.
But there hasn't been too much of a reaction so far from Ancelotti.
The reaction here, a long way without a touch.
Yeah, and the Frenchman is on for.
Here's Portillo looking for Lazaro. Looking for Rudiger, who can head across goal. But Benzema in an offside position. Headed into the run of Lazaro. Now here's a chance for Portillo. Takes on the shot and not far wide. Again.
Either of the Ancelottis on the bench to what Vinicius has been doing.
Yes. Plenty in the middle, and he might get a penalty. Keep Almeria with any kind of chance in this game. Cannot do so. Benzema sends him the wrong way, rolls it into the corner. It is a first half hat-trick for Karim Benzema, and it is surely now game, set and match for Real Madrid. 3-0 they lead before the break. As Rodrigo's trying to flip him in. Samu Costa with the challenge that goes on. Now Ramazani, can he cut it back for Portillo? Oh, first time ball across the face of goal. Lovely cross and an easy finish, and they get one back, and it's Lazaro Vinicius who taps it home from close range, and Ramazani making amends for his poor defending at the other end by teeing up the goal.
The rock concerts or the ferias or the exhibition.
Here's Ceballos finding Rodrigo, turning to shoot. Oh, what a strike as well. Starting the second half with a scorcher, Rodrigo turning on a sixpence on the edge of the box and then unleashing an absolute rocket, which was past Fernando before he could even enter into his by the man who won it, Samu Costa, straight in onto the instep of Ceballos. Benzema making his move, Bernabeu, for this Saturday evening, prodding it through, lovely ball towards Camavinga. Mendes to player. Here's Samu Costa winning it back on the edge of the area. And then being flick, Ramazani into the area. Narrow angle, tries for goal and just seemed to, nice flick. Ceballos to the byline. Picking up injuries as a result of the constant diet of game. Here's Ceballos finding Rodrigo, turning to shoot. Oh, what a strike as well. Starting the second half with a scorcher, Rodrigo turning on a sixpence on the edge of the box and then unleashing an absolute rocket, which was past Fernando before he could even enter into his. Takes on the long-range shot, which was so a couple of get it back here. He's in the middle and he looks for the flick, but he can't quite get the concept. Given away by Kroos, and Portillo can send in the cross, and it's a second goal. And it is Robertone who got on the end of the delivery and sends the header past Courtois, who could only get his hand on the ball. More celebrations for those Almeria fans. They might not get 3 points. Can turn, feed it on to Lucas Vázquez. Rodrigo with the flying header. Is he onside?
That they didn't get the corner out of it. That's a mistake by our refereeing team.
As Vinicius runs into Mendes, who is the latest, and Mendes sends in a good ball.
The last little goal. Almeria
Can turn, feeds it on. Rodrigo lifts it wide past Fernando, but Ceballos was wrestled down by past Robertone, who just about is able to make off on it and keep Almeria in this game. And that's Benzema making a run. Instead he tried to loft it in, but it drops towards Benzema, who knew he was offside. So Vinicius getting to the byline.
Dùng những cây sắt này để chia ra đây, anh em quan sát đây. Đấy. Đang chia ra để chia buộc sắt nhé, buộc sắt thì tối nay 10 nhà đại gia 7 đổi chân nhá.